First, families. Language families. Family means that languages are related to each other on the basis of genetics. They are genetically related to each other. So they show the complexity of human language. Obviously, language is a complex phenomenon. So language families, we can define that a classification of a language or entire language family based on similarity and dissimilarity in words and grammatical elements. So we look at two languages and find similarities and dissimilarities. Them we find that how their sounds are comparable to each other. What are differences? What are similarities? What are dissimilarities on the basis of words, morphemes, and syntax or grammar? Two kinds of linguistic classification: typological and genealogical classification. Typological, that we look at language with regards to their different features, what features they have. And genetic, that languages have come from the same source. Their ancestor language was the same. Typological, isolating, fusional, and agglutinative. So isolating languages are the language in which there is single morpheme and the word consists of that single morpheme. Chinese Mandarin is an example of this. For example, in which the and book, they are two words, but they are also two single morphemes. Fusional they are combination of many morphemes, but the boundaries of morphemes are not clear. And Latin language is an example of this type of language. Agglutinative language, this also is a combination of different morphemes, but there are free morphemes and there are bound morphemes. The Turkish language is an example of this type of language. So genetic classification, no daughter language. We find a language which does not have any daughter language. For example, Egyptian language has no daughter language. Similarly, we find English language. It has surpassed the continents and time, and now it's the lingua franca in the world. And it is likely that this language will also not have any daughter language. Let's now look at main language families, some of the main language families. For example, we have Sino-Tibetan language family, and Chinese Mandarin is an example of this, is a member of this language family. We have Austro-Asiatic language family. Mon Khmer is an example of this language or member of this language family. We have Afro-Asiatic language family, Semitic, Arabic. So this Arabic is a member of this Afro-Asiatic language. Indo-European language family. Indo-European is probably the biggest language family in the world, and it has Germanic group, and English is also part of this language family. So let's look at through this figure. So Proto-Indo-European language family. So if you can see that it is branched off into many language families. So let's look at one of the language family, Germanic family. So this Germanic family has further division in North Germanic, West Germanic, East Germanic. So if you look at this West Germanic, so you will find that Old Low German and Old High German is the member of this family. Similarly, if you move on to this West Germanic, you get Old English, then Middle English, and then Modern English. So there are a lot of other languages you can see in this cluster of languages. This is one language family, that is Proto-Indo-European. Even if you look at this side of this tree, you find Indo-Iranian family, and then if you go further, Indic and Sanskrit, and you find Urdu, Hindi, Bengali, Punjabi. So these are all part of this main language family. Human societies have done new languages like new clocks. So this statement tells us that over the period of time, in the process of evolution, human beings have used many languages. When they moved from one place to another place, they started speaking one language, and with the development of different races, different nations, they had different languages. The linguistic metamorphosis always went unnoticed until there was a writing. So this statement, some of this language evolution, that language is also like a organism which comes into being and automatically goes through different biological stages to reach its final stage. Similarly, languages started from the very humble beginning, and by they became more and more complex, and ultimate they have now developed into these modern languages through which human beings communicate with each other. These complex thoughts and complex ideas